Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sandbox stream. I am Alex, joined by Joseph here. We've
Hi, how
got
are you?
good. We've got a new little look we're working on, work in progress. It'll get nicer as time goes on. And thank you for joining us at the Wednesday stream here. We've got some cool new stuff to talk about related to the Sandbox, and some stuff lining up for the future pretty soon here that you'll get to check out also. So let's just jump right into news. Let me pull
Do
up
do
something
do do
here.
do do do. Pulling up the new do 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 do.
All right, and let's see. Let me jump over to our desktop here. Hi, Clankers. We're doing well. So we've got the avatar system coming live with the sandbox. So if you go to avatar.sandbox.game, you can actually set up your avatar now. It's still it's a work in progress. We're doing some more things with it, but there is a lot of cool stuff going with this. So we're gonna go ahead and click on create my avatar, and you can see that we've got a whole bunch of unique characters that came from our Creator Fund artists, and you can check them out in 3D and save them to your account. So we've got some funny ones, some pretty awesome ones. We got some ninjas, some aliens. We got some Wild West stuff, gamers, all sorts of cool stuff. So you can go ahead and set your avatar for your account now. So I like the samurai, Ronin Yuki Sune, which I
That's
think I remember looking up what that meant, Yuki Sune. I think it means like swift snow or something like that. It has to do something with the snow and like being stealthy or something like that.
hmm,
Um, so you click save, and Play Now will actually take you back to the main Game Maker download page if you are whitelisted for the Game Maker Alpha. And remember, even if you do not own land, you are now able to apply for this. So if you go to this play page and you are not already whitelisted, anybody can apply for the whitelist now. And if you go to your Me tab, and my screen is kind of big for it, but you actually show up now
nice.
right there.
That's pretty cool.
So as far as I know, right now this does not plug into the Game Maker. It might in version 3.6, which is not out yet. 3.5 is coming very soon for the closed alpha, and there's a version 3.6 planned for not long after that, which is going to improve some issues people have been having. So I'm not sure when exactly we will start seeing this avatar as your playable character in the Game Maker, but that is on its way, planned for this year. And if you click Edit Avatar, it takes you back to this page here. But let's check out what other stuff it says on this page. So you can create your style. So there's going to be customizable colors, and you will get to mix and match different parts. You can see there's just a torso here. So you're going to get to select the different parts of the body and customize the colors on them and do something totally unique. So that's not in there yet, but that is on its way. So you can already see there's some really cool ideas in the works for that. Then once all of this is set up in the Game Maker, you're going to be able to start equipping things. So we already have the equipment templates in VoxEdit. You can make shields and swords, helmets, uh, top armor, which is both the arms and the chest, and bottom armor, which is the legs, basically the waist to the feet. Um, and so you can put all those parts together and upgrade your character with extra defense, extra attack, extra speed, all sorts of stuff like that. Clankersh asks, will we be able to use any size of character as an avatar? No, you will not. The avatar is specifically the medium human size. Um, there's a couple different reasons for this. So the goal is that these avatars will be able to jump to any of our social hubs uh, and a lot of the games that people make. So in a game, a game creator can define a specific avatar if they want. So you could still play as a tiny little rabbit, mushroom, or you could play as a giant, or some huge, you know, a building like that first thing that I did in the game maker.
Yeah,
You can do that stuff as a game creator. You can set those up, but for the sake of compatibility across all games, the avatars are specifically going to be the medium human size. They should be compatible with all the different mix and match parts, the different equipments, and this way there's you won't be able to cheat the system basically because let's say you wanted to play a battle royale game and then somebody goes, oh, you know what, I'm going to be a pebble and nobody's going to be able to find me. I'm just going to hide. That's not fair or fun for anybody. Or you
sure.
go into the social hubs and there's some like 30-meter tall, mech giant who's smashing through the social hub and blocking everybody's view of each other. And then that's not fun either. So, I mean, it might be fun for that one person, but as for everybody playing together, that's not very fun. So, uh, the goal here is that it's going to be compatible for everybody. Everybody's going to have an even playing field for the social hubs, and then games that use the avatar system, it's going to stay fair for everybody by using the same size. Um, so that's what's going on with the avatars. So that is exciting stuff. Um, and then there was something in. I lost my little edit window here. There's something I had to
Sure.
fix in the scroll. It was NFT awards, right?
Yes, that's correct. So at the top of
NFTawards.org. Done.
the
It's fixed. So, our scroll is correct there. You want to tell us what that's about with the NFT awards, real quick?
Sure, yeah. So right now, Sebastian, as you know, is part of a large conglomerate of NFT and blockchain gaming companies that have come together to talk about and promote NFTs in all sorts of different uses. Uh, Recently, just this week, he announced that we are eligible to be nominated slash win in the NFT awards. So sorry, on the side, I'm noticing that my webcam is doing a little glitchiness, so I
I
apologize
think
for
that's.
that. I gotta in order to fix it, I would probably have to restart everything, so I don't want to cut us off here.
Oh, I thought it was my
Um,
fault.
no, no, it looks like it's on my end for
Oh, okay.
whatever reason. It's a 4K camera that goes into, relatively speaking, the slower computer. So anyway, so we're eligible to win slash be nominated for the NFT awards. So if you would go to nftawards.org slash nominate and enter in the sandbox for that nomination. I'm going to keep people updated. Of course, Sebastian, I'm sure will keep people updated on when any potential voting would be ready. But I'm super excited, and it would help everyone in that you'd continue to see more exposure, more cohesion. If you see announcements regarding the NFT awards, if you were like sharing those, retweeting those things, not just for the sandbox, but for the other companies that are also involved, we can make a better NFT product in the long run by increasing the exposure and usability of NFTs through simple things like these awards. So I'm
I think
into it.
I think somehow I removed that link from the scroll because I'm trying to find it to share it, and I think I
Yeah,
accidentally
it looks
deleted
like
it.
we're using the old scroll right now, and that's okay. So
I don't know
if
what I did there.
I'm gonna put it in the chat over here on Twitch, and if you could put it
Uh,
over on NFT award slash nominate. Look
yeah,
at that. Look at you, crypto.
it's I know what the problem
Thank
is.
you.
it's SLOBS being SLOBS and not
Oh, okay.
synchronizing the scroll across the multiple scenes. So
Sure.
sorry about that. So there it is. Here's the submit a nomination page, and you can fill all that.
Oh yeah, yeah, sure.
Select the different stuff like that. Fun stuff.
The NFT Explorer or Marketplace. So that specifically, you could be sharing an individual NFT if you like, or you could share the larger marketplace for the sandbox there. Um, Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Anyway, so you're on to the contest again, right? Have
Yes,
we done the voting for that?
this is finished. It finished on the 5th.
Very good.
So voting is no longer open for this contest, but we can show off the winners. So
Cool.
we've got the Templar by Noxious is the #1 winner. We got a cool glowing cross artifact on his back, some sort of holy relic or something. Nice, nice cross shield and sword action going there. We've got this really crazy medieval press by Lion King. So really awesome, and this speaks to me because I worked in printing for like 6 or 7 years. So
Yeah.
not this kind of printing, obviously, but you know,
You sure you're
you
not
learn
a
about all this stuff.
medieval printer? Just get in
Yeah,
there.
no, they unfroze me a few years ago. So,
Yeah. Captain America over here. You know,
yeah,
it's wonderful.
Captain America of Gutenberg printing.
David,
Um,
let's see if I can get that over there for you. If I reply directly to you, you should be able to see that over on YouTube. Sorry about that.
what's the NFT awards?
Yes, there we go. That should go out on YouTube. If I don't get something that I can reply to when I try to do it using Streamlabs for the chat, like if I was just generically throwing it out there, sometimes it doesn't send the link to any platform, let alone all of it. So it's kind of wonky in that way. But
And then our third place winner was the Wizard of Kingdom Morientar by Fufu,
hopefully,
maybe.
okay. So
Fufu.
I've played with the software to try to fix that glitch issue, which has zoomed you all in. Excuse me for bumping the mic. Zoomed you all into my face a little bit. So hopefully that fixes it, and it totally didn't. Triggered.
That's all right.
Technology.
You're just gonna be Max
It's a
Headroom,
wonderful thing.
glitching
Yep.
around. So let's jump into the game maker. So I know that we've been talking about on Wednesdays. We've been talking about doing some behavior discussion. Talking about what the behaviors do, how they perform their actions. So let's do a quick recap. I'm just going to go very briefly because I don't want to anybody who's been here the whole time. I don't get bored with stuff we've already covered, but we'll just very quickly go over the behaviors that we've looked at in previous weeks. So I've got a character down here, and whenever we're clicked onto a character, we can see the properties panel over here on the right, and got our collision, we've got our attributes that comes from their rarity and their gems, marketplace, their transform, which is their position and rotation, their name and their visibility, and then we've got their behaviors and components. So the behaviors that we went through before were the ally fighter and enemy fighter, which, as I explained last time, is basically the same thing. By default, allies will fight enemies, and enemies will fight the avatar and its allies. And so when you spawn them, that's going to be their default behavior. But if you place them in the map, you can actually change all that by, editing their logic. You can set exactly which tags to attack. So you can have them attack very specific characters. You can have them flip flop, which you can set somebody to have an enemy behavior, but they're going to attack other enemies. You can do any combination of tags you want to customize those properties. The key difference, besides the default spawn options, is that allies use a roaming box to have they roam around and look for fights, whereas enemies have a sensitivity radius, so they will roam around, they will patrol this blue area, or this blue circle, whereas
Yeah.
allies will do a box. So that's the key difference in their behaviors after you get past what just the defaults are, is the way they move around. Then we've got the asset spawner, which is one of the more powerful tools, allowing you to spawn any asset, and you can set up a whole bunch of different options like the gravity settings and components for the asset, and the basic behavior. So like I said, you can set that enemy or ally behavior, but we can't customize it when we use the spawner as it is right now. It is fairly limited. So you can, if you set a, where'd it go? They're not alphabetical. If you set an ally, it's going to be an ally, and that's the only option you have. You can't customize the specifics of it yet. That should come here. Then I see a question from Dat Dat Hippie Hair. There we go. Could
Nice.
you have them become traders, attack enemies, and then attack you later after enemies are defeated? Sort of. That's kind of a complicated combination of things. I haven't tested that specifically. You would need to have a way to switch up the behavior. So we can't change those variables on the fly right now. Um, uh, the logic system is being worked on to allow more complicated things like that. So we're going to have a whole visual scripting node trees where one bit of logic feeds into another, and then you can have much more complicated interactions. What you would need to do in this case is you would need to despawn the ally and spawn an enemy using the same graphic, and it might not be as visually fine-tuned. It might be kind of obvious that that change is happening, but from a storytelling perspective, I think you could do that. You could spawn an enemy that looked like an ally after a certain event happens, but you would probably want to pretty it up by having it happen kind of like out of view. So you could have them like walk into a room and come out as an enemy and have some sort of message associated with that on the screen to kind of inform the player what's going on, so they don't just think that's something glitched. So that's the asset spawner. Then avatar is obviously the player. So for now, you can only set a specific asset as the avatar, whether it's an inanimate object or an animal or a human, whatever. And then later on, this avatar spawn location is going to allow you to use the player's avatar from their account. Basic platform. I don't remember if we really covered this one. I think we did. And it's like the name says, it's basic. It's a pretty simple process. You can set up the motion for anything in a linear sense. You set the speed, where it's going to end up, and have it's going to bounce back and forth between these two locations, and it gives you a preview of where it's going to end up. So if we set it to go up in the air, got the diagonal, we can set the speed. And then what's cool about this behavior is we can make it a parent of any other object. So if we have another object in our hierarchy, we can make it a child of the moving platform. And so if you have something like a message broadcaster, you can move that message broadcaster so with its proximity moving along with it, so you can set off triggers in different places. So if you wanted to say like our coin drop game that we made, you wanted to spawn coins,
Coin.
spawn.
Do it. Coin them. Coin those coins.
If you wanted to spawn coins in a series, you could have a bunch of spawners lined up, and then have a message broadcaster with the spawn command to to move along that whole row of spawners, and then they will spawn in a series going down, and then then it'll bounce back the opposite direction, and you'll have kind of like this wave pattern going back and forth. Uh, so any motion from any object, actually you can do this with NPCs, you can do this with birds, you can attach any object to a moving object to allow for that kind of motion. So let's say this basic platform was invisible, then you can have your message uh, broadcaster not be something that you're visually seeing. It's setting off triggers for you with the timing that you set. You can also you could do that with a bird to get a circular motion. You could do that with an NPC to get a random motion. So you can place that message broadcaster in all sorts of places without the view of the player to trigger, any sort of more complicated interaction that you want to do. So that's that parent-child relationship on moving objects creates a lot of possibilities for creating games. Let's see. So, like I said, there's also the bird. So this specifically works with the bird template because the bird template has a flying animation and a gliding animation. So it will work better with those. But you could make any object a bird to get a radius motion, and we can set the minimum fly width, the maximum fly width, and it'll hover, not hover, it'll cycle between these widths to give more variety to the flight path. You can't see it, I don't think. Yeah, it doesn't visually show up on the screen, but you can set, this is a newer option in version 3, 0.3, I should say. You can set a minimum fly height and a max fly height. So if we were to set this to, say, 5, when we start the game, this figure is going to be 5 meters off the ground, and it's never going to be below 5 meters off the ground. So that means the bird is going to be permanently in a state of flight above where you place it. If you want the bird to swoop in closer to the ground, you're going to set this in fly height to 1 or 0, and it's going to dive a little bit lower. So these give you a three-dimensional. It basically makes a donut, whatever proportions donut you want, to let the bird do its thing. BDJ Sync asks, can you vary height in the region? So I think you're asking, like, will the height move up automatically over the blocks? Maybe, if I understand the question correctly. And the height will not vary over different heights of blocks, at least not now. So this is you want to plan it to work where you have it. So if you know the bird's going to cross over this ground, then you want to make sure that the minimum height is above the ground here. Otherwise, the bird is going to clip through the earth. The manta ray I made from the griffin template could fly underwater. So yes, that's actually, I don't know that I've ever intentionally placed a bird in a game before. I have placed fish though. So if you set a if you place a fish in the water, we'll place a wolf in the water, and you set it as a bird, and my mouse is like way too sensitive right now. There we go. If you place something in the water, it will, with the bird behavior, it will go through the blocks. It's not going to collide. So with NPCs, they do collide with blocks. That actually has caused an issue for some people trying to put fish in the water. If they set it to an NPC, they just stay still because they think they're colliding with the blocks right now. They don't, unlike the avatar. The avatar recognizes that the water is a fluid it can move through. The NPCs don't understand that yet. That will come in a future update. So NPCs will try to avoid going through blocks. Bird underwater, that's virtual reality. Yeah.
We're getting memes today. So actually, Shinra's pointed to the fact that earlier I responded to a VR question by typing virtual reality. So
Your choice.
it's meme
Oh, I
city.
didn't even see the Y.
We
I
got
thought that was a
Spoin the
V.
Coin. We got virtual reality.
Man, we
It's
can't talk
beautiful.
today, can we?
I
That's
love it. I
great.
love it.
Yeah. It's one of those days, right?
It's
Um,
just one of those days.
so let's set that to an avatar, and let's set this to a virtual fish, and
Virtual.
let's see. I actually started scrolling F for fish, but I wanted to be a bird. And let's set those flight heights down lower. So minimum flight height would be 0. Max would be, let's say, like 2.5. And let's do a smaller radius here. And we're going to move this way under the water. And so now when we play, let's go underwater. And we're flying really fast. Whoa! Went
Super
down the drain
fast.
there. So I've never set a zero radius on a board. So you'll want it a little bit wider than that, unless you like the tornado attack there. So this is the bird behavior, but it's on a fish. So this is how you can make them swim around in your environments. And we'll have an actual fish behavior later, and maybe we'll start seeing stuff like fishing mechanics as we expand the more RPG sort of elements of the game maker. But for now, if you just want some set decoration for your games, you can use the bird behavior on a fish, and it looks pretty convincing as long as you don't set that radius to 0.
Yeah,
Let's move along to the next behavior. I'm trying to get through all of them today. Let's do it.
that's a
Let's
lot of
go.
damage. Yeah.
We got half an hour, and we haven't done any giveaways yet. So
Oh, geez.
totally
10:30
forgot.
already local time. So
So
that's
let's do exclamation point sand in the chat. And if you're joining us for the first time, our giveaways are 100 sand each. So exclamation point sand in the chat, and then we will do a dice roll after a couple minutes here, giving everybody a chance. The sound seems clearer. Oh, of my voice or Joseph's voice. I don't. We're on the new computer now, so there shouldn't be any interference issues. I don't think. I mean, I don't have a dedicated amplifier, but the computer itself can handle everything that it's doing now, which the old one could not. So so after everybody's got an exclamation point sand in the chat, we'll do a dice roll, and hopefully it'll be a number under the number of people who said sand. Uh, an upgrade to my voice, that'd be nice. I've
your
gotten a
voice
lot.
is fine.
I used to be really self-conscious about my voice, and I thought I sounded really squeaky. It helps having the monitor on all the time. I've been doing YouTube videos and streaming. It's got me a lot more accustomed to the sound of my own voice, which I used to
Yeah,
hate. I still think it sounds bad on like voicemails. If I hear my voice like in a like a bad recording, um, and it's drives me bonkers. But
sure.
also I have a big range on my voice, so sometimes I start talking really high and kind of like pitchy and annoying, and then and then I can drop it down a little bit
uh,
lower, sound a little less
yeah,
like
we
a
want to
like a small
get
child.
on, get real deep in there.
Real deep. Um,
Oh yeah, coin the coin. You know what
so-
I
and
mean?
now
So,
I'm thinking there's an Irish phrase. Forgive me if I butcher this. Pogmathoin, or something like that, which I
sure,
think is
sure.
like kiss my butt in Irish, basically. One of my very good friends is Irish Italian, and that's his vanity plate is Pogmathoin.
Nice.
So anyway, um, we'll do the dice roll, and Joseph will go through the exclamation point sand messages, and whoever wins that roll gets 100 sand tokens to their Ether wallet. So if you are the winner, make sure to message Joseph your Ethereum wallet. And at the end of the stream, because we do this 3 times a stream, the end of the stream we'll
Yep.
roll for one of those 3 winners to get an NFT. And I'm not sure what NFT it's going to be. I'll have to take a look. It'll be a surprise, but you'll get an NFT for free, just because you typed exclamation point sand in the chat. So Let me know, Joseph, when you want me to do the roll. I think it's slowed down a
Let's
little bit on
see.
the entries there.
Uh, I think it's fine. Yeah, there's only been the one in the last, minute or so.
A
So,
yurd fish.
yardfish. I think the yardfish is free, but
Yeah, yurd fish for everyone. Oh, we got another one. All right, I think we'll cut it off there. You got like 2 seconds to do exclamation point stand before I do the roll here. So we've got about 53 viewers right now, and so we'll try to roll under that. And we got a 26.
alrighty.
So we're
I'm
definitely
running
under
up.
that.
I'm gonna type 26 in the chat here. Where no famous was. You squeezed it in before I could say 26. So all submissions from here on are for the next drawing.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
last one won't even really won't make a difference. That's our cutoff because we didn't roll high enough to count that one. So Joseph is going to go through that. We're going to take a look at the next behavior here. So we did bird and then button. So button, as you can see, has a huge broadcast range. Actually, I think that's that's because the character has some power. So let's get an actual button here.
Oh, okay.
We got a winner.
Yashik, you win. Oh, hey, I'm on.
What was that?
Oh, so I've added Yashik in the chat. My caps lock was on when
Oh,
typing. So that means Yashik, if you could DM me by clicking my name right there on Twitch, since you're a Twitch winner, it's very easy to do that. Send me
congratulations.
your Ethereum address, and I will be able to send you that sand at the end of the stream.
Awesome. All right, numpad switch. That's what I was. Doesn't put the word button on it. So
Button.
because our bizarre merchant here, the power gem, the radius for the button control is way it's a 90 meter radius, which is larger than the land actually is. So yeah, you
Huh.
can see without any power gems, it's all the way down to 40. Twitch people tend to win more often because there's more viewers on Twitch. So it's just a statistics thing. But
Yeah.
we've had Facebook winners, we've had YouTube winners. I don't know if we've had any Periscope winners yet.
Maybe one. It would have had to have been weeks ago at this point, but yeah. Just a lot more people watching on Twitch right now relative to the others. So
yeah. Other platforms are going to have to step up their game.
step it up.
Step
Let's
it
go.
All right. So we've got the button control is pretty simple. It works the same as a message broadcaster, except it's controlled just by player interaction. So if you use your action key, which is the E key by default, and right now we can't change the keys. If you use the E key while playing, it sends whatever the message is within broadcast range and then the duration is like the you can't send it more than once in that time. I don't think. I would have to double check how that duration works. It might be that it sends that message consistently for that amount of time. How you use it with different behaviors, it'll work different ways. So we can try to open a gate with the button. Quick. Use the desert gate. I like this one. And we want to make sure that the messages match. So let's great. My mouse, like I must keep hitting the DPI button on my mouse because it keeps on like getting faster and faster. Um,
I've done that many times.
so we're gonna say that the button says open for the message, and then the message required for the gate or for the door is open. And it's got its animation set. It's going to play the animation, and you'll notice that I didn't leave the interact. So interact is the one message in the game maker that is specific to a player's action, which is using that interact key. I called it action earlier. It's really interact. So if you set anything to use capital I interact, that's going to be when the player does the in-game interaction with it. So by default, the button behavior uses interact. You can't change what it is. It's only going to be interact from the player. And it should open the store if everything's working correctly. And oh, the avatar system does work because I don't believe this guy is in my inventory. I was not expecting that.
Nice. That was quick.
Yeah, it's just called Avatar. Nice. I didn't realize. So that's cool. The Avatar system's integrated. I didn't know that. uh, that was a nice surprise because if it's Ronan, right? He's not even in my inventory. So because I'm logged into my account, it used my avatar that I set on
Very
my
good.
profile,
Very good.
and he's right there.
Pretty
Sweet.
cool.
That is
Nice
very
and
cool.
quick. Good job, team.
Yeah. So we can see that if I go right up to this, I don't know if you can hear me tapping because I have the RTX voice on. But I am
Cannot.
pressing the interact key. What's that?
Can't hear you tapping.
Oh, you can't hear me
So
tapping. Yeah,
no,
I'm.
but that's
I've got a
probably a good
mechanical
thing.
keyboard and I am slamming on it. So, uh,
Oh,
that's how good this RTX voice works. You
yeah,
can't hear me typing at
that's
all.
pretty cool.
So I am trying to open it and nothing's happening. So we go to the button and is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? Hey, it worked. So I think there was a little delay on there. That might have been that 1 second delay, and we can close it. That actually worked very fast this time, so I think I might have accidentally double tapped on that interaction. So there you go. That's how a button works. Easy peasy. That's how you can control objects by releasing a specific message with that. And what happens if I hit R on this? Is it going to crash it? Okay, no, I could replace them
Don't
with an
do it.
asset.
Don't crash.
It's too late. I already did it.
It's a trap.
All right, we're going to put a wolf down here and we're going to go on to the next behavior. How much time we got? We'll do the next roll at 1:45. So we've got 3 minutes to type exclamation point sand in the chat. Tap your foot at the same time as well. No, it's the RTX voice is really good at filtering stuff out. I'm really happy with it. I was trying to use it on the old computer and I didn't have an RTX card, so it wasn't happy about it. This was announced 1 hour ago. You mean the Avatar thing was announced 1 hour ago? I
Yep.
know it was today that the Avatar
Was
thing
it-
was released, but I wasn't expecting it to work in the Game Maker at all.
Yeah.
I knew that I knew that the website part of it was launched, but I was not expecting it to work in the Game Maker because this isn't even the latest version of the Game Maker that I have access to. So I was really surprised that it worked right off the bat there. Um, uh, Lucas says interacting with the button should have some sort of feedback, like a sound. We can actually do that. Is it gonna? Yes, put everything back. So we didn't get to components yet, but just real quickly, if I do add a component, sound component, or play sound component, and I can pick, there's like a click noise, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know what all these sound effects are for the avatars. We don't have voiceovers yet, that for sure. So I'm not sure why they're showing up the sounds. That's interesting. Click and play on interact. So now you should hear a click. It played the click, but it didn't open the door. Oh, and now it didn't. Okay, so like I said, this isn't even the latest version, so there's bugs that have been fixed, specifically on the message broadcaster since the version that I'm in right now. I just got a download this morning for the latest 0.3.5 pre-release. So there's but I because I knew that this was mostly working, I wanted to stay on this before I, start testing stuff live on stream and get some surprises. It's always fun, but it's also nice to know what's going on. So let's go back. What was the character that we were just using the wolf? That's what we were. So yeah, you can. I guess we could have the click actually be played by the door instead of by the button, so it receives that message of open, and that would also play the click sound. So there's different ways of setting it up, which is true for most games. There's more than one way to crack an egg, if you will. Is that something people say? Crack an egg? Skin a cat? Whatever. I don't want to skin a cat.
Yeah, I don't want to skin a cat. Yeah, I'm not really
Yeah.
into that. You know
I'm
what I
okay
mean?
with I'm okay with cracking eggs, but I don't know if people actually say that. I think people say that.
There's a term. I don't know if you're familiar with the wrestling world, but there's a term in the wrestling world where if you get thrown over the top rope, but you still hold on and you like kind of do a backflip to pull yourself back in, that's also called skinning in the cat. So I'll prefer that term over the other.
All right, so it is 1:46. So we are ready to do our roll. We've got 50 viewers right now, so we'll probably under 50. And we got 24. Wow. Last one was 26, I
All
think.
right,
So
24.
I'm
Here we
rolling pretty
go.
consistent here.
That is pretty consistent. I like consistency.
Yeah.
Also, I like numbers that are less than 30 because counting is hard. Not really, but you know what I mean.
Almost made me
All right,
spit.
let's see here.
We already know how to roast a squirrel. Yeah, but when you roast a squirrel, it turns into a cat, and we all know like that's all. That's how that works. So, so
All right,
um,
here we go. I
alrighty, that was
already.
fast.
Oh yeah, I see. It's a lot easier to count to some number that's less than 50.
Yeah,
Uh, you win. Okay, so
congratulations.
Va Evaman. You win, and if you would, make sure you click my name there and you send me a direct message with your Ethereum wallet address so that I can get the sand sent to you at the end of the stream.
All right.
Also, if you're watching and you are a member of our Telegram, there is a meme there just for you.
Okay. I wasn't looking at Telegram, so I don't know what it is. Somebody asked about Clankersh asked about sound effects for characters like dragons. So stuff like that is planned for the future. Whether that will all be ready for the December release or not, I am not 100% sure. We are working with the composer for the Sandbox Evolution music and sound effects. He is working on ones for this game as well. That's Peter. I don't remember his last name. But Peter is working on that stuff, and we do plan to have a
Oh,
whole bunch of sound effects and music for the December release, and there will be different like musical hits for events that go on, like Victory and Finding stuff, and things like that, as well as overworld themes and ambient sounds, and there will be specific sound effects for things. I was actually in charge of listing what all those needed to be, and I probably listed way too many things. So I'm not sure what the priority on all those things will be. I basically was like every single sound effect you could ever have in a game, to list every single one, and we said, well, that's not really practical for December. So um, uh, dragons were on my list. I'm not sure if they made the cut for December, but that stuff is planned. And yes, there will be a Spoin Coin sound effect as well.
I I gotta say, Alex, I took my time here while we were going so far, and I designed a Spoin coin in Photoshop real quick.
Oh, that's
And
great.
that is what I shared in the Telegram chat. So for those of you that didn't win, we have a consolation prize. Click the Telegram link to see the Spoin coin there. When the stream is over, you're gonna enjoy it. That's your gold
Oh
for the
my
day.
god.
If you don't win some sand, it's pretty fun.
I'll have to take a look at that later. Oh, good grief. What is today? Today is so weird. Um,
Have the
let's
fun,
see.
right? Like it's a game
It is fun.
designing platform. You got to have fun designing games. You know what I mean?
uh, uh, I would send the address in a whisper directly to Joseph's Twitch account. It's the Vision X. You can see him posting in the chat right there. The Vision X. So I would message him directly. Just you know, ether addresses are pretty safe. You know, it's an open kind of public platform. But you know, you never know what somebody will try to do. So we avoid sharing
Yeah.
directly in the chat. Um, so the next behavior is citizen, or what you could call just a regular NPC. They don't really do anything. They just kind of walk around. So you can set a walk zone. If you set a height to it, they will walk up blocks also, so they could go upstairs. Um, you know, that, excuse me, my coffee is making me like really burpy today. Sorry about that. Um,
RTX on. You know what I mean? Can't hear it. Good to go.
I mean, I kind of like held it back. So I'm not sure if we'll. Did I set a move speed on this guy? Let's kind of force him to go up the stairs by giving more steps to go. So we can see him roaming around, and he should go right up where you've got max walk speed. And let's see, that's about all that we can set. So play, and he should start walking around eventually. There he goes. And he's a little bit wider than your average human. So yeah, he's just gonna go bury his head in a rock. So normally, you know, humans have the same walk, same width all the way around. So when they come to the edge here, they'll actually stop. And I guess he doesn't want to go up. Maybe he will run away from us. We give him a whack.
It's a trap. Nope, he's fine with it. Don't worry about it.
He's
You
like
know,
this. This is fine. He's just sitting there sipping his coffee.
That's what he likes.
This is fine.
Oh,
I can set him to flee us.
it's gonna be really.
Yeah, he should.
Copy this. Click whisper you, and I'm gonna send you back that. Oh, that's interesting.
So I guess he's not going up the stairs. I've seen NPCs do it before, so I'm not sure. Maybe there's something with the width of the wolf's behavior. He just pushed me. He pushed me up a level. That's interesting. So I don't know. For some reason, he's having issues with stairs. You know, some dogs really don't like stairs. They kind of freak out maybe to giving up little doggy steps. So
there you go.
We'll forget about the height on that for now. Eventually, that should work cleanly for them going up and down steps. But for now, you can set a walk radius. If you wanted like a guard to you know, walk a certain path, you can always set that to 1, like that, and they will walk in a more specific area. Can you even set it to 0? Yeah, you can set it to 0, and then they will walk back and forth. They won't walk from one end to another. For that, you would need the moving platform behavior. But they can. He will keep, you know, within this path here. Except he's fleeing us right now, so he's trying to run away from us. So he's going off this path.
Run away!
And then, oh, interesting. Okay, so some you know, ease with that. Whatever. Next behavior is the door, which we already showed, which we can't really show uh, on a dog, but we already showed it with that gate earlier. So you can use different triggers to activate it. So you could manually open it with interact. You can trigger it remotely with a button. You can have it. You can remove interact as an option, so it can't be opened, or you can even make it locked with a key. So there's a way that you can put in a behavior switcher, so the behavior will actually be off until the key is in proximity. So I think we tried to do that before and it didn't quite work the way we expected, but the goal is that you bring the key close, it'll allow you to open the door and then you can interact with the door that way. There's two different modes for doors. One is play animation. In the case of the dog, he doesn't have open and close animations, but you can actually see all the animations here. And I've used this before to force certain animations to play on other behaviors. Avatar's meme game is strong today.
Sand giveaway exists. Everyone is for me. Yes. Oh.
If you win the role, yes. Was it?
Wait, hold on.
Who was it? Clankers or somebody said it earlier. Well, I don't remember if it was Clankers or somebody else. It's like, you misspelled my name. It's like somebody else wins the role, and then Clankers is for me.
Yep. I'm just having
it wasn't Clankers. It was somebody else. I don't remember who it was now.
BDJ, you don't get free sand just for sending me your address. I got the DM. It's like, hey, it's me, it's Brian. Like, Brian, I know, but also like you can't just cheat like that.
Okay, it was Clankers. I couldn't remember who said that earlier.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to the door. So you can have it play an animation. You can have it play an animation for opening, an animation for closing. So you can use that to trigger certain animations if you wanted. There will be an animated onset behavior again. It's not in here right now, but there was in the past, and it will be returning to play specific animations on assets. But for now, you can use the door and you can trigger it with messages or interaction. And I thought the spoon coin was the spoon. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Spoin coin is a thing now. It's going to have to be in the game, Alex. Get on it. Come on. Where's the art?
Forget Wizzy. We're doing a spoin coin.
Spoin coin for days. Throw the coins. Just throw them.
I did add the coins in this asset. So
Nice.
so if you're using the game maker, these are public assets. And you can actually put these in your game now if you want.
Nice.
So if you could just look up in the search in the marketplace, you can just type in coin, I believe, and it should show up.
Yeah.
There you go. So
okay, all right, blockchain engineers that are watching right now, just design the spoin coin. You know what I mean? Like moons, they exist. You give them out as karma on Reddit, right? You got.
Did we just create the next? We just created the next token on.
Yeah, a whole new token right here live. It just happened immediately because you've got like, let me think about some other nonsense ones. There's the meme token, which is literally just a pineapple, and like that blew up, right? It was like $12. Now it's like 12,000. I have no idea why. Like, there's no offense to those producing that token. I just,
Go spoil yourself. Hey, I see you there, armadillo.
Hey,
telling us to go spoin ourselves.
Spoin is great. Is that like Scrooge McDuck? You know what I mean? Like, do I just go swimming in spoin coins? That's what we do.
Sounds so wrong.
Make the level, Alex. We'll go swimming in spoin coins. It'd be great. All right.
I mean, we could
back to behaviors, because we've got in about a minute until we'll figure out a nice fill up all the ocean with the coin. It's gonna happen. He's gonna do it.
Now these are gonna go flying.
Absolutely.
Because we'll turn on collisions plus gravity. So this will be it's gonna
make some business happen. Here we go.
They just exploded everywhere. So
There it is.
We'll just go
Ready? Oh yeah, dog. Oh my
swimming in
gosh.
a sea of
Beautiful.
spoint.
Beautiful. Oh, this is great.
Oh boy. Okay. Back to serious business. we're never gonna make it down to those poor behaviors down at the end of the list that
Yeah,
we've never ever talked about, like
you know.
void.
Yeah. Somebody mentioned that earlier. If we could do that really quickly, just show them what Void does. Show them what
Yeah,
it's got.
yeah.
They wanted to
So
know.
so there's a couple different things voids can do. Voids, well, the main thing that voids do is they delete objects, but we can make them delete blocks and or assets, and you can interact with them different ways. So if we set this to a void, we'll just skipping down to the end of the list here, and then we'll make our way back up to the middle. So you've got your destroy area, which I don't believe you can set for a 0 point. I think it does. It's got the minimum one, which is a one on each side. So your minimum area right now is a 3 by 3. Hopefully that'll be a little. You'll have a little more options there in the future. So you can destroy on start. You can destroy. You could set to don't destroy. So maybe we don't want to destroy blocks, or we want to only destroy, say, grass blocks, and don't destroy assets. Okay, and then we're going to add, where we're going to turn on collisions plus gravity. So this is going to be a kickable item, and we'll edit the logic, and we're going to add grass, or let's add sand, because the sand is all pretty much one block. We've got a couple different grass blocks, which makes it a little more complicated. So we got sand, and on start, it's going to start deleting, but it's only going to delete 1 per second. Okay, so start it, and it's already deleted that area, and then we can kick this around, and in another second, it should delete some more, I think. Maybe not. I've seen it delete larger areas before. Let's see what's up here.
Hmm.
Because we made that gun basically.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
see.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Save on
Feely.
start on oh, maybe it's because it's not on receive message. So we'll say interact, and anytime we click on the coin, anytime we interact, the coin is going to delete blocks. And then we can kick it over here, and we can interact with it again. Maybe, maybe not. Is it going to do it? It doesn't look like it's going to do it. Okay, so yeah, we've had that work better in the past before. I'm not sure what its deal is right now. Let's see. We can have it delete all. Let's have it on start. We're gonna have it destroy all except from list, and we're gonna have no list, so it'll destroy any block. And defines the time it takes in seconds between each destruction. So that should have been working. And then we're going to have it. We're going to have another coin here as our message broadcaster, and it's going to repeatedly broadcast. Let's see, message broadcaster, trigger, broadcast all, and delay between broadcast to 1 second. And this one is going to broadcast on receive message of trigger. And let's see if that works. Let me just make sure I use the right capitalization. Yeah. All right, so every 1 second, this should broadcast trigger, and that should delete blocks, and it's not. So something's broken there. I don't know what changed. It was even this version that it was working, I'm pretty sure, because just a couple weeks ago, we made a little
Yeah,
thing that spawned blocks that, or what was it
right.
spawning?
And
The
it
coins,
like
the shields. and it was
Yeah, it
deleting.
just dropped them, and as they were hitting, they were continuously eating away at the ground, so
Yeah,
must be something we're doing here. Yeah,
I think maybe something that in I might actually be on a different version than when we did that, so I need to test that a little bit more. This is the exciting part of working with alpha. Is things working and then something else changes and it changes a
right.
dependency somewhere else.
Well,
So
not only that, but, like, while we've been doing this, it's not like we're writing it down, right? Efficiently, if you were trying to program a game properly, right, when it comes to, like, making this, you would wanna go like, "Okay, this is how I did that," you know?
right.
Or, like, you have a functional version saved separately, and then you come back and you're like, "Okay, I need to know where I did that and why." So if you were actually trying to blow up a mountain, let's say, with a multi-step explosion process, and then you wanted to reenact that later, you would go back to your reference rather than, you know,
Yeah.
plugging and playing.
Yeah, so it seems to be acting oddly right now. It's only deleting once instead of repeatedly deleting. There were changes to the message broadcast system. So things like repeating messages have been a little wonky. And like I said, a new version just came out, and I know specifically the change log for the notes of the changes for the version that I was sent this morning specifically addressed things with messages. So maybe this is fixed in that version. I will have to experiment with it. Um, and I see BN Dreams is asking about the lists. So yeah, you can select to destroy specifically from a list or to destroy everything but from a list. And when you click Edit Logic, you can set what those lists are, and you can set both lists of blocks and of assets. So if you want to destroy every object except the avatar, you can do that. You can, if you want to destroy the avatar and no other objects, you can do that. There's a whole bunch of combinations for doing that. So it is after 2. We need to do another giveaway, and we didn't get through all the behaviors. So let's do exclamation point stand in the chat. Let's see if I can do like super brief, abridged version of the behaviors. We're just going to say what they do. I'm not going to go into the details of what the settings are. So
Sure.
exclamation point stand in the chat for that last giveaway. And we're going to go back up to enemy fighter, which we already explained that. Enemy fighter can be an ally or an enemy. It's really just that it uses a radius. Farmers, they are NPCs that gather things. So you set up their box area to wander in, and they will gather assets that have a certain tag. By default, it's plants, but you could have them gather coins, you could have them gather other NPCs, you could have them gather whatever. And there's a bunch of different parameters for how quickly they gather and how far they will search for something to gather. Um, we've got ground predators, which are hunters. They will search for a certain asset, then chase it down and attack it. And they also have a hunger attribute to them, so they might only hunt when they're hungry. Um, we've got ground prey, which is by default what the ground predators are searching for. They have they will wander all over the place. They have no real limit to how far they will go. They do look for food, so by default they will tend to look for plants. And so in a way, they're kind of like a farmer. They're looking for things, but they will also detect enemies and run away from them. So you can kind of set up an ecosystem of predators and prey and plants and farmers and fighters where they all kind of interact with each other in different ways. So you can kind of set up a whole ecosystem. We've got healers, which whoa, that is a little blinding there. Let's
Mm, mm, mm,
change.
mm, mm. Party now. Party.
There we go. Okay.
All right.
The green and the red were overlapping, so it kept flashing yellow. A
Yeah.
little, uh,
It's a
oh,
rave, you know?
uh, what polygore moment there. Um, did I get the name right? It's polygore
I have no idea.
Pokemon.
Porygon.
Porygon.
Yeah.
Oh, that was close. Let's do a 12-hour stream. Maybe you can fit it a bit more. I've been trying, and we do need to do more tutorials on this. That's been a priority. Uh, we've we've hired on a bunch of new people that are going to be able to help uh, take over some things. So I should have more time for tutorials.
Hmm.
So you should see more updates from both my Voxelize YouTube account and the official Sandbox account in the coming months. So we've got the healer, which is uh, an NPC that will detect either the player or other NPCs that have damage, and it will heal them. So it's going to look for these tags: NPC, ground prey, avatar, and you can again customize those tags to whatever you want, and it will replenish their health when it gets within the correct range. Let's see what else we got. We already went over message broadcaster. I mean, we go over message broadcaster basically every week. So if you don't know what the message broadcaster is, tune in next time and every time after that, because we're gonna keep on using the message broadcaster every single week. Multi. So I don't know what the logic behind the name is. I believe it's a reference to Sandbox Evolution. The multi is actually a spawner 36 giveaways.
Okay, we should probably do the giveaway because now we're getting exclamation mark spoin in the chat.
Oh no. Okay, we're gonna do the roll. We're gonna do the roll. We got 40 viewers. So
Oh,
63. That's not gonna work.
you guys are making my day, making my whole week right now.
15. 15. Easy.
15.
Easy.
I love it. I
15.
love it.
So, um, you degenerates. All right. So the multi actually spawns blocks. So you can tell it to spawn in a certain area. The minimum is a 3x3 area, which is defined by 1x1x1. Here it means one on each side of the central block.
Yeah.
And you can build a whole wall if you wanted. There was actually a really cool video. It's somewhere on the Sandbox YouTube channel. I believe it was Shinjun, our Korean group leader, who made a map where you would press a button and it spawned a whole castle. He had set up a whole bunch of these very carefully lined up with each other, so that way when you'd press one button, this whole castle would just grow out of the ground, which is very cool. And
Yeah.
congratulations, Rusty Gray, for winning 100 sand. Make sure to message Joseph, the Vision X, on Twitch to claim your sand. And then we've got, where's my D6? We got the 8. There, plain old, normal, boring white and black dot die. So, we're gonna do the final roll in just a minute here. So the numbers 1 and 2 will be for the first person who won. Numbers 3 and 4 will be for the second person who won, and numbers 5 and 6 will be for Rusty Gray here, who just won. So, sorry, Sec Raider. The sand contests are over for today. You can tune back in on Saturday, and we will do 3 more giveaways on Saturday. And come on, number 7. Yeah, if I roll a 7 on a D6 Clankersh, I will give you 1,000 sand. And
Oh yeah.
so yeah, hope
Okay, so I
big.
put it in the chat here.
Awesome.
Yashik was the first winner. Bawa Eva man, as I recall, the second, and then Rusty. Yeah.
Yep, that looks right to me.
Bawa didn't send me a DM, so I had to remember the name kind of off the top of my head. But luckily, they're still with us, so they can have their
Awesome.
chance.
Give him 1,000 spoil.
Make it happen. You know what I mean? If you're a blockchain engineer and you see this meme right now, you produce it we'll blow it up. There's 15 or
Where's Whale Shark when you need him?
11,500 people in our Telegram chat that would, I'm sure, be very happy to kick Spoin Coin right off. You know,
All right, so we will do the roll for the NFT in just a minute. I'm using this pressure to get through the last couple behaviors real quick because we've been trying for like 2 months to go through all the behaviors and we keep getting sidetracked. So I blame my
ding,
ADHD.
ding,
So multi
ding.
will let you spawn blocks, and you can spawn any blocks, and you can set up how quickly they spawn also. So you can have like a rising tide of water. You can have very quickly, bam, it's all there, spawning, and you can set up multiple ones to do structures. You can do all sorts of cool stuff with that. Right now, it follows a very rigid pattern of filling in. I had it figured out before. It fills up from bottom to top, and there is an order like northwest, east, south, and I don't remember the directions, but it does. It fills up in rows and columns, and then moves its way up. Um, so maybe in the future we should get options. We'll have like fluid dynamics and stuff, so water will actually act more kind of like Minecraft water, where you have a smaller and a pour out, things like that. That'll come later. Let's see, multi plants. So plants are just kind of like a collectible asset. They don't really do much of anything except say, "Hey, I'm a plant." And you can have them immediately be destroyed by a message. So if you wanted to like quickly clear a field, you could do that. But prey will go and hunt for these things. Um, Not really hunt; they'll forage for these things. So you could set anything as a plant behavior, and then by default they will have a plant tag. So you can also change that if you want. But if you spawn, the plant behavior is really helpful for if you're using a spawner. So you'll spawn the plants, and then prey will come and look for it. So there's a couple different ways you can use plants, but that's one of the kind of the default intended behavior for it. Question is like an NPC, except it's static. So you can, I mean, you could put a question on anything really. It doesn't have to be on a character. So it will ask, uh, it'll show the speaker name, it'll ask the question, and then you can give up to 4 answers, and whatever the player picks will broadcast a message. So you could use that to complete a quest, to unlock a door, to spawn something, whatever you want the message to do. You could even have a message um, uh, activate a different question. So you could have a whole series of questions and kind of do story trees that way. If you've ever used RPG Maker, it's very similar to the way its message interaction system works. And then we're down to the last one. Replace asset. So replace asset is you can't use it to change the avatar yet, because when I've tried that before, it's had weird results. Um, but you can use it to exchange objects. So let's say you have we used it with our quest with the wizard. We had a squirrel, which was the wizard's cat, and we would bring the squirrel to the wizard, and then it replaced it with an actual cat. So that's how you can use the replace asset. Um, Lots of possibilities there. And next week we will try to go over the components. So as many options as you have here with the behaviors, you can further customize them all with the components, and you can place multiple components on everything. So there's truly like there's already like limitless possibilities. Uh, just not every possibility is possible. it's it's kind of difficult to explain, but there's an infinite number of varieties of things that you can do with this. Just there's certain specific things that you might not be able to do yet. So uh, we will go over components next time, and let's do the roll here for the last person. I
Cool,
lost
cool.
Joseph's message in the chat there, but I think that's find it.
I
And it
got it
was
sorted.
it was a 3. So congratulations to who was that? Uh, uh, VoxEdit, I
Rusty.
think.
Oh wait, number three. Number
Number
three is
three.
for the middle one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
I
rolled
was only
a three.
yeah.
Three
That's
dots.
that's Yaw Eva man.
Yeah, even that.
Cool.
Congratulations. So I'm not sure what that NFT is going to be. I'm gonna have to go digging for that, but it will be something fun and Sandbox specific. So congratulations. And why don't you flip a spoin? That's I'm okay with this. I'm okay with us having
It's
it's
permanent.
fine. It's
This is a feature.
fine.
This is a feature.
This is a feature. So so yeah, we got through the behaviors finally. And of course, we'll go into more detail. And a lot of these behaviors are going to change as versions go on. There's going to be more behaviors. Exactly how the behaviors work is going to change. So there's going to be a lot of new stuff to go through even before the end of the year. And then next Wednesday we'll look at the components. And this Saturday is going to be our first Saturday at a new time slot, and I'm not going to be here for it. So,
That's right. It'll be
so
me. I'm in
yes,
charge here with the business, just having fun now. This Saturday, just like last Saturday, we are going to play your game. So if you have games and you have not yet published them to the gallery, please do. I'll be exploring them throughout the week, and then we'll come back on Saturday and we'll play them here together. And I'm full meme mode right now. I got to tell you, Alex, as an affiliate on Twitch, I can edit my avatar to whatever, or my emotes to whatever I want. And I have now added Spoin Coin as an emote that I
is
know
that
no one will ever unlock, and it doesn't matter. Spoin Coins for days. I'll be spamming those in the chat.
does that it's kind of small
No,
on my screen. Does it actually say Spoin on it?
it literally is the Spoin coin
It
that
is
I
the
posted
Spoin.
in the Telegram chat. It's the same coin because I designed it. So of course I have that asset. And I just now it's the Spoin. I'm like I
Spoiling.
said, full meme mode on this one. And
Great.
it's great to have you guys with us so that we can make these memes together. But I'll be back on Saturday. That probably will mean, unless I can get someone to help me out, so that I can stay interactive and stay having fun with you. We will use Telegram for sand again, so it's going to be a Telegram explosion of sand, and but that's okay. If you don't know, I'll be sharing that Telegram link in the chat on Saturday. So
Awesome. And it will be at 1 p.m. Eastern time, which is what, 9 a.m. for you?
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Yeah.
Pacific time. And yeah, so the time on Saturday is going to match the time Wednesday now, where we're going to see how that new time works. It's a little bit later for the rest of America, so that way it's to wake up so early on Saturday morning. And yeah, I have an event that I have to go to, so Joseph will be in charge on Saturday.
Oh
So
yeah.
have fun. Make sure you message him your or let him know that you've uploaded to the gallery if you have access to that, so we can check your game out. And thank you for joining us today.
See you later.